What's the best scenario for the Panthers when it comes to quarterback right now, man? Like, it feels like they have everything else. Almost.
Do they have everything else?
Almost. I mean, they are.
Do they?
They are addressing the needs that they had last season, right?
Okay.
Like, so I think you needed another solid linebacker. Like, Jermaine Carter was cool, but they got Damian Wilson, who's better.
Okay.
You needed another good safety, right? Like, you had all the corners in the world. They had all the corners in the world. So you're fine at corner, but you didn't have another safety to go along with Jeremy Chin. Now you have that in Xavier Woods. So you're good with that. So now on defense, you're kind of set. You're missing. It would be good to have somebody else on edge because you just lost. What's my man's name? Hassan Reddick. You just lost him.
That's a big loss.
But you did re-sign Marquise Haynes, who can also fill that role. It's more of a third down guy. I don't think he's an every down type of edge.
Okay.
So but you're not necessarily hurting. You got more. You got Ioannidis, who came from the Washington Commanders. He's there on the defensive line. So I mean, you're good. I think you filled in some holes that you had. Deontay Foreman, we talked about it. Rashard Higgins, he could be a legit number 3 receiver. You really kind of need just the quarterback. They've done some work on the line. They probably need to draft a little bit more for offensive line as well. But like legit, what you're missing is the quarterback.
Okay,
you've addressed everything else.
Here's the thing. This is what we were told. We were told that last offseason, and look what happened, right? We were told, we've signed these offensive linemen in free agency, but guess what?
We knew Cam Irving and Pat Elflein were horrible, though.
That's my point.
Are
these guys that much better? Okay,
Austin Corbett.
I'm supposed to get excited for Austin Corbett.
He just helped win a Super Bowl for Matt Stafford.
Okay,
he was protecting.
What's your point?
And then I can't remember the other guys.
He's so great that they didn't want to keep him.
Well, they couldn't afford him.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams have to have a lot of money to shell out. They've got a lot of big name and big ticket guys that require a lot of money, which is also why they lost Johnny Hecker and why we have Johnny Hecker right now as well.
Okay. All right, here's my point. None of those things excite me. They don't. And I get this team is not a quarterback away.
They're not a quarterback away. But quarterback away from at least being formidable and not being a 5-win team.
Okay. I'd much rather them focus on themselves, like getting everything else better before you go into a partnership with a quarterback. Because if you get desperate, you're going to get yourself in a Sam Darnold situation again. Which to me, the whole going after Deshaun Watson was that exact same scenario. To me, that spoke desperation to me. And when you get desperate is when you start making bad moves, in my opinion. When you start getting desperate to have a partnership of some kind because you feel like you have to marry yourself to something that you think is, everyone else has this, I have to go get it too, then you put yourself in these rough situations. That's when you start going after Sam Darnold. That's when you try and bring back Cam Newton. Sorry, there's no point in bringing back Cam Newton. That's done. He just proved that he's not good anymore. Cam Newton now. You were
about to say he stinks.
He stinks. He does. Right now, Cam Newton stinks. There's no point in bringing back Cam Newton.
I don't agree with that.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Thank you.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, well, what's the point? He proved last year he went out there and played, and guess what? He couldn't do anything. He got benched for Sam Darnold.
Here's what happened.
What's the point of bringing him back?
Here's what happened, and let's kind of put things in context, right? Cam Newton was brought back in the middle of the season
because no one wanted him.
In the middle of the season,
because no one wanted him.
Hold on. Because first off, if Mac Jones didn't look as good as he did for the Patriots, he would have been with the Patriots. The Patriots said as much. But they saw Mac Jones, he's a little bit better than what we thought, and we don't want to have a former MVP kind of hanging over him. So that's one. 2, Cam Newton's at home for half of a season.
Okay.
Then they bring him back. And he comes in, and he doesn't know the system because it's not the same Carolina Panthers system that he was under for 8 years.
I'm not buying that. Hold on. Buying any of this.
But that's important though, because you're learning you're learning a whole new terminology, you're learning a whole new playbook, and then a couple of weeks after that, the offensive coordinator who's teaching him the offense gets fired. So the guy whose offense that was designed is not even there to teach you the offense. So when he looks bad in the offense that was designed by the guy who's not even there, of course he's going to look bad. So if you give Cam Newton a full offseason, he's going to have mini camp, OTAs, and a training camp with this. I'm not saying he's going to be MVP Cam Newton, but he'll look a little bit better.
Which isn't that? Which still isn't
good. He had to cram for a few weeks there. And then when Sam Darnold, who did have a full off season, came back and was healthy, of course he's going to look a little bit better because Sam Darnold has been studying this system since last April.
Okay.
Cam Newton literally had a few weeks, and then the person that's supposed to teach it to him was fired.
There's a reason why no one wanted Cam after he got cut.
I'm not saying he's MVP anymore.
No, I know. But if he was still serviceable, why didn't someone else pick him up? That's my point.
Are there 40 quarterbacks better than Cam Newton right now in the NFL?
40? Than what Cam Newton is right now? Probably.
No.
He's a backup.
That's why I said 40. That's why I didn't say 32. That's why I said 40. Because I think he's a backup starter hybrid right now.
No, I wouldn't even do that.
I'm looking at him like how Washington looked at Fitzmagic last year.
Okay.
Let's look, bring him in. This is a guy who we know he has won before. He has winning DNA. He can bring people together. He can make people feel good about themselves. We know his limitations. We know his weaknesses. But if we go out and get Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett, we know that Cam Newton can help us be the bridge for that person. I'm not saying sign Cam Newton to a 4-year contract. He's a quarterback of the future. We're going back to the Super Bowl. It's 2015 all over again.
No.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you need something that gives you stability, and the Panthers have not shown that at quarterback since Matt Rule has been here. So Cam Newton can help you with that, along with the fact he could put butts in seats, because when Cam Newton wasn't there, guess what was happening? It became everybody else's stadium besides the Carolina Panthers stadium.
Okay. All right. So
there's so many reasons to do this.
I'm not gonna lie. I completely disagree with you on every single one of these reasons. Because guess what? That partnership, that ship has sailed, man. Like, that relationship's done. You've been in that relationship before. It's done. You try to rework it. Guess what? You had a fun couple moments.
Nah.
It's done. You have to move on.
He clearly hasn't spun the block
at some
before.
Point, I move on. Like, here's the thing. Move on, man. Like, that's the thing.
Yes,
move
after
on.
2022, move on.
No, move on now. Like, why wait? If you want stability at quarterback, Cam Newton's not going to bring any of that.
He brings a little bit.
No, he doesn't, because he's going to be gone, if not benched by half the season.
But that's the whole point.
What do you mean?
You're bringing somebody who can be the bridge for the next guy. If you're going, if that
Teddy Bridgewater?
Well, guess what they did? They got rid of him.
Exactly my point. So you're just going to be doing that all over again. Why? You're just going to be doing that all over again with Cam Newton. Build the rest of your team. Suffer through another year with Sam Darnold, then go get a quarterback.
It's different because you'll have 2 seasons with Cam. And under Matt Rule, they haven't had a quarterback to have 2 seasons besides P.J. Walker.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying with stability.
Okay.
So it's not the same thing as Teddy Bridgewater, because you got rid of Teddy Bridgewater after 2020.
There's no stability if he's going to be gone after the upcoming season. You're just starting another
stability from last year.
Okay.
He already has.
Doesn't Sam Darnold give you stability?
Yeah, Sam Darnold's. Yeah, exactly. Bingo.
Does anybody who think
they're both equally bad?
Anybody want that?
They're both equally bad.
Who wants that?
Nobody. But my question is, why is it so hard for the organization and the fans to move on?
Exactly. That's my point. Move forward, people. Get over it.
Can I answer?
Get over it.
Can I answer that? I was at every single Panthers game this past season besides the Patriots game.
Okay.
Covering it. When you see, and I used to cover the Panthers, of course, from 2015 up until now, from when I was at WXI, and you see how Bank of America Stadium used to be rocking.
Yeah.
It is not that anymore.
Okay.
It's sad. It's a shell of itself.
Okay.
Part of it, too, is because, one, the carousel and the dumb stuff that Matt Rule has been doing. So really what we're really talking about is erasing Matt Rule's mistakes. So that's the real thing that we're talking about right now. But then when you look at how Teddy Bridgewater, when he came, of course, it was the pandemic, so nobody was really in the stands. Charlotte didn't get a chance to really connect with him.
Okay.
Then you have Sam Darnold, who came, and he's just like, I'm going to process, and I'm going to listen to the playbook, and next play, and I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? That boring coach speak or whatever.
Yeah.
You haven't had anybody to connect with the fan base since 2019. Because think about it. Christian McCaffrey, he's not out there like that. Like Christian McCaffrey is silent. He's underwater working out and all that. Like he's not the type of person that's going to be, he's not like what Cam was. So you haven't had anybody to take that part over. So what I'm really talking about is you got to get the fan base excited so you can have a home field. So maybe when you have more excitement in the Bank of America Stadium, folks can play a little bit better. Just give it one more year and then move on.
Nope.
And that's literally all I'm saying. I'm saying we're going to move on.
So we're not going to now.
We're not going to relive the past.
Why not move on
But
now?
you need something to hold you over. And Cam Newton was not given a full chance, a full season to help out with that.
Okay.
Have him help with the culture.
There's a reason why he sat at home half of last season. Is because he's no longer good. Plain and simple. If he was that good, Chris, someone would have picked him up right away after last season.
There are not 40 quarterbacks better than Cam Newton right now in the NFL.
Okay.
And part of the reason why he
sat at home.
There's the same reason why Carmelo Anthony sat at home for a little bit in the NBA. It's because people were afraid to touch him because they felt like maybe he's not going to be okay being a backup. It's the same reason.
Okay. Well, guess what? He's still a backup.
Okay.
That's all he is.
And if people were,
so you don't need him.
If people thought that he would be cool with that, because right now they're probably thinking, oh, he's not really going to be cool with that. If they knew he was cool with that, you'd pick him up and be a part of it.
I think fan bases see right through it. I think the fan base, and my opinion, is just going to look at it and say, like, okay, we had our cool throwback moment with Cam Newton last season for half a year. It was cool. Guess what? We realized that, you know what? Physically, he still can't do anything he used to do. So you know what? Move on.
We agree on that.
Just move on now.
No.
Move on now.
Culture.
Get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid, move over.
Why does Udonis Haslem still have a job with Miami?
But he's always been in Miami.
But why does he have a job?
I don't know.
Culture.
Okay.
He sets the tone.
Okay.
You sometimes need that person. And with Matt Rule clearly losing his locker room, sometimes you need that person that's going to bring it back.
Yeah.
And that's what the Panthers are missing.
Yep.
Who can do that for you? Cameron Jarrell Newton.
Okay.
When he's not talking to Brittany Renner.
Well, there's that too.